Most people will never be wealthy, not because they weren't born into it, not because they lack talent, intelligence, or potential, but because they lack one thing: discipline. Discipline, the invisible currency that buys success before money ever shows up. You can dream all day, visualize a better life, read every book, watch every video, say every affirmation, but if you can't command yourself to act when it's hard, to move when you're tired, to stay when everyone else quits, you'll never taste the fruits of your vision. See, wealth doesn't just come to those who want it, it comes to those who deserve it. And the price of deserving is discipline. Ask yourself, when you say you want success, what do you mean? Do you mean comfort, ease, recognition? Because the real road to success doesn't start with applause. It starts in the dark. It starts when no one's watching. It starts the moment you choose discipline over distraction, focus over feeling, duty over dopamine. Carnegie built an empire, not because he waited for permission, but because he was obsessed, disciplined enough to grind, to learn, to adapt, to outlast. Edison tried 1,000 times to create light, 1,000 failures that would have broken any ordinary man, but not him. Why? Discipline. He said, "I have not failed." I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Discipline is not motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is spiritual. It's the internal law you write for yourself and refuse to break. You must become the master of your own appetite, the one who says no when it's easy to say yes, the one who trains the mind like an athlete trains the body, with rigor, with repetition, with relentless intent. There will be mornings when the bed feels like heaven and your goals feel like chains. There will be days when the world seduces you to slow down, to coast, to take a break. But the wealthy, the truly wealthy, understand that the reward is on the other side of resistance. Discipline is the gate. Henry Ford didn't stumble into success by accident. He faced bankruptcy, ridicule, even sabotage. But he didn't bow, he didn't bend. He stayed disciplined to his vision. And that's the difference. Most people quit when they're tired. The disciplined keep going until the work is done. You want to create wealth? Start by doing what you said you'd do long after the mood has left you. Discipline is waking up before the world, putting in the reps, making the calls, writing the pages, building the dream, even when you don't feel like it. Because feelings are liars. They whisper doubt. They seduce you into inaction. But discipline is truth. It's the voice that says, "You are capable. Show me." If your mind is not disciplined, your money won't be either. If your habits are inconsistent, so will your results. If your standards are low, your income will be too. Discipline is how you earn clarity. It clears the fog. It silences the noise. You don't need a million ideas. You need one idea followed with unshakable commitment. That's where wealth begins. Look around. The world is full of talented people who are broke, full of smart people who are stuck, full of dreamers who never built. They lacked the bridge between vision and reality. They lacked discipline. Let me tell you something you won't hear in most motivational speeches. Discipline is boring. It's not attractive. It's not glamorous. But it works. It's eating the same clean meal when your friends are ordering pizza. It's doing the work after the applause fades. It's choosing growth over comfort, again and again, even when no one notices, especially when no one notices. Walt Disney was rejected 302 times before someone believed in his dream. Imagine if he stopped at 100 or 200. Would you even know his name? Discipline is what makes the impossible inevitable. And here's the truth most won't accept. Discipline isn't something you find. It's something you build daily, moment by moment, choice by choice. You build it when you say no to shortcuts, when you delay gratification, when you push past the voice in your head that says, it's too hard, too long, too far. You see, the man who is truly disciplined is free. because no external force can own a person who owns themselves. So if you want wealth, not the kind that fades, but the kind that builds legacies, then stop asking for it. Start earning it through discipline, through sacrifice, through daily self-respect. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when the stars align. Now, because wealth doesn't wait. Discipline begins when the excuses end, when you finally stop negotiating with weakness, when you silence the soft voice that says, just this once, and replace it with a roar that says, not anymore. You were not born to crawl through life hoping for a break. You were built to rise, to lead, to forge reality from raw will. But that version of you, the wealth builder, the game changer, the unstoppable force, will only emerge through pressure, through process, through pain. Not pain that punishes, but pain that polishes, because discipline is the hammer and fire that forges greatness. And those who avoid it, they remain soft, undirected, lost in potential. There is a kind of quiet war inside every man and woman. A war between what you want now and what you want most. Discipline is the soldier that fights for the latter. Ask any titan of wealth. Their calendars are structured. Their mornings are sacred. Their decisions are principles, not emotions. They didn't find the time. They made the time. They didn't try their best. They committed without escape. Andrew Carnegie once said, "The man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his own mind may take possession of anything else to which he is justly entitled." That's the core of this message. Discipline is not just about routine. It's about rulership of the self. And when you can govern your habits, your focus, your reactions, the world bends to you. Because discipline does something no amount of money or motivation can do. It builds momentum. And momentum makes success inevitable. Let me ask you, what would your life look like if you kept every promise you made to yourself? If you executed your plan every day without fail? If you stopped quitting on your potential? It's not a mystery. That life exists. It's just waiting behind the gate of discipline. Discipline is what gets you up after failure, what keeps you learning after rejection, what fuels you when applause fades and the silence gets heavy. It is the path through every storm, the flame that doesn't flicker when the wind comes. Lincoln lost multiple elections before he became the president that changed history. What kept him going wasn't luck. It was conviction powered by discipline. He knew who he was. He knew what he was called to do. And he refused to let temporary setbacks define permanent destiny. And that's what you must realize. Discipline doesn't just build wealth. It builds identity. It rewrites your self-image. Because every time you show up when it's hard, you prove to yourself, I am not average. Every time you do the work when no one is clapping, you reinforce, I am the kind of person who follows through. And that belief, that inner fire, becomes unstoppable. Soon you're no longer dragging yourself to action. You're pulled by purpose. You're aligned with something deeper. Because at some point, discipline stops being about success and becomes about integrity, a sacred vow between you and your higher self. The version of you that knows exactly what you're capable of and will no longer tolerate anything less. Yes, wealth is a byproduct of discipline, but so is peace, so is power, so is freedom. Freedom to wake up when you want, to live where you want, to work on what matters, to provide without fear, to give without limits, to build without permission. But you will never access that freedom until you master the one thing the average person avoids their whole life: discipline. Because discipline is not a punishment, it's a portal, and every day you delay stepping through it is another day your dream waits in silence, wondering if you'll ever become the person worthy of it. You want to be wealthy? Good. Then don't just want it, earn it. Wake up early. Read with hunger. Practice with purpose. Cut the noise. Guard your time. Invest in your focus. Hold the line. And when the world offers you comfort in exchange for your destiny, you tell it, no, I am building something greater, because you are. And one day, that discipline, the grind no one saw, the sacrifices no one applauded, the standards no one understood, will erupt into a life few even dare to imagine. And on that day, you won't have to speak. Your results will.